Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sagar sir, and thank you, Srivastav sir. Uh, Yesterday, I talked about some parts of this topic, imperfection in crystals, and today I will continue this part. Uh, so, a quick review. First of this lecture, yesterday I also told that why we need the defects, what kind of defects arise in solids, and whether defects are desirable or undesirable. All these questions will appear in your mind, and from this lecture you will get the answer from here. So now yesterday we talk about crystal defects are four types mainly. Point defects, this is a zero dimensional. Line defects, it is one dimensional. And surface defects, it is two dimensional. And volume defects, it is three dimensional. And among these four, only some parts of the point defects are were discussed, and so rest of the part I will discuss today. So from here we will discuss uh, it is for ionic crystal there are two types of ions, cations and anions. So if crystal is perfect, then all cations should be all lattice sites, their corresponding lattice sites, and all anions should be at their corresponding anion sites. Suppose one more thing is that you know that from class 12 physics or chemistry that anion has always larger radius compared to the cation radius. So here this figure shows you a ionic crystal where these uh, ions or atoms are the cations, the larger one are the anions. So here what kind of defects may arise in the ionic crystal? There are two kinds of defects: Schottky defects and Frenkel defects. And these two defects are also in point groups, point defects. So what is Schottky defect and what is Frenkel defect? You see that from this side, one cation is absent and it moves to this other position here. So cation should be here, but instead of this lattice site, it is now positioning at the interstitial position, at the interstitial position. So there is some defect, and this is called a Frenkel defect. So Frenkel defect contains a vacancy plus a interstitial cation. So we can say that this Frenkel defect is a hybrid defect because one is the vacancy and another is the interstitial. So and another thing is that this Schottky defect. What is Schottky defect? You can see that here an anion should be here and an cation should be here, but both are absent from here. So these two vacancy collectively known as Schottky defect. So in case of NaCl, in case of NaCl is a ionic crystal. So here this it should be the chlorine ion, and here it should be it should be the sodium ion. So if a formula unit means one Na plus and one Cl minus is absent from the crystal, then we call it Schottky defect. Then if you go for CaCl2 means calcium chloride, where one cation corresponds to two anion, means one calcium ion it has charge 2 plus and Cl minus has charge 1. So one calcium ion is absent, and if two chlorine ion is absent, then total formula unit will be called a Schottky defect. So in calcium chloride crystal, to form a Schottky defect, you must have vanished a calcium ion and two chlorine ion, whereas in case of NaCl, one Na and one Cl ion only. So here also you can see that if cation is out of place, then this is called a Frenkel defect, and if one cation and one anion is absent, then it is called a Schottky defect. So next we go for line defect or dislocation. It is basically one-dimensional defect around which atoms are misaligned. And what types of line defects are there? How many types of there? Now, two types of line defects are there. One is edge dislocation and another is screw dislocation. So, what is dislocation? I will discuss briefly in this next slide. Suppose you have taken a simple cubic crystal, it is a perfect crystal, so it will have a several number of parallel planes, and assume that there are 6 planes parallel from top to bottom. One plane is here, one plane is here, one plane is here, one plane is here, one plane here, and one plane is here. So we named these planes as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and another plane we take A, B, C, D. This is a horizontal plane, and at the middle of the crystal. So now if you consider that the atoms are residing above the plane, above the ABC plane, as well as and below the ABC plane, and these atoms will form bond. So here you can see that the ABCD plane is at the middle of the crystal, and above which atoms are there and below which also atoms are there, and the above atoms and below atom form a bonds, and now this here also you get atom, here also, so here also you will get bond. So now we will choose a region A, B, F, and E. So in that region, first we will break the bond, and then we will push the upper portion towards right side. So then what will happen, and how much we will push? Now we will push 1 unit of interplanar spacing. 1 unit means here I said that there is plane number 1, plane 2, plane 3, plane 4, plane 5, plane 6. These all are parallel plane, so they will have a interplanar spacing, and we will push the top portion by the interplanar spacing amount this deformation. So what will happen after that? It will look like it will look like this thing. So initially it was, this plane was here, but when we push interplanar distance displacement amount, d kind of displacement, then it will come here, and then we allow to reformation of bond. So in that case, the atom which are in plane 1, they will now form bond with plane 2, and similarly the atom of plane 2 will form bond with number of with this plane 3, and but here we just broke the bonds up to plane number 3, but plane number, in case of plane number 4 and in case of plane number 5 and in case of plane number 6, the bonds remain same. So there is always their bonds are still present. So what will happen, the first plane will form bond with the second plane of the below or bottom, and in the second plane of above, it will form the bond with the third plane which is at the below. But in case of when you go to the third plane, then it has it will not form or it could not be able to form any bond because there is no broken bond. So you see that this part is same as a perfect crystal or previous, but this portion a distortion arise. What is happening here? This plane is only this much, but rest of the this is not here. So what will happen, these bonds will form and they will in compression because the atoms are closer. But here you can see that the bond length will be larger, so there will be a tension. So here compression and here tension. So the this you may call it is a dislocation. And what is here, you can see that the dislocation line is the EF, means from here inward to the plane. So before that we have to mention another thing is that slip plane. What is slip plane? You see that we took a B C D plane and onto which we choose a region A B F E, and then we push the top portion of the crystal to the right. So this plane ABCD, this plane ABCD is called slip plane. So here also ABCD is the slip plane, and out of which only ABFE portion we broke the bonds. So this ABFE is the slip part, and the rest of the portion FCDE is the unslip part. So up to now, is there any question? Sagar sir? Ravi sir, is there any question?
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir. Any questions?
No,
All
sir.
are clear. You can continue.
So now we will see some term called Barger vector. What is Barger vector? Now Barger vector is the incompleteness of the closed circuit. So what will happen if you see that this portion is deformed. Now if you take here, if you consider a circuit, suppose you start from here and go from here to here by one step towards right, and then one step to the bottom, and suppose you start from here to here, this is one step, and you by bottom you go 2 steps downward. So you reach here, and then again you go 2 step 2 step left, and then 2 step upward, and then 1 step towards right. So you will basically arrive the same point from where you have started. My mouse is not working properly. Again, you have, suppose you are uh, currently here. Now you start from here to here by 1 step towards right, and then 2 steps towards down, and so you will reach here, and then once again you will go 2 steps to the left, and then 2 steps to the top, and then 1 step towards the right. So you will basically arrive at the same point. So here periodicity um, is there, but in case of here, if you take this kind of this kind of circuit, then you will not arrive at the same point. So suppose you start from here, and you go 2 steps towards right, from here to here, and then there. So 2 steps towards right, and now 1 2 3 and 4. So here you reach here, and next you will go 2 1 2, and then you have to go 4 more. 1 2 3 4, and so you started from here, but after completing the circuit, you reach here. So this much portion you have to travel more. So this portion is called the Barger vector. And what will be the basically, what is Barger vector? Barger vector is nothing but the amount of incompleteness of the closed circuit. So the in case of here, it is the direction towards here. So in case, and the dislocation line is towards the inward plane. So Barker vector and the dislocation line is perpendicular here for edge dislocation. And but in case of next, we will come to the skew dislocation, and where we will find the edge dislocation line and Barker vector will be parallel to each other. So one thing is that how we will decide the Barger vector direction or magnitude. So in that case, we have to follow a right hand screw rule. Right hand screw rule means you have to take a closed circuit in clockwise direction, and then in that case, in which direction your cork will move, that will give the dislocation direction, and the Barger vector will be always perpendicular to the line of dislocation in case of edge dislocation. So from this figure we can see that here also the this is the slip plane. Slip plane is here. Above slip plane, the uh, bonds bonds are in compression, and below the uh, below the slip plane, the bonds are in tension. Any question from participants, or uh, any sir?
No, sir.
Now we will go for next screw dislocation. What is screw dislocation? So to do that, we have to go for again sub. In that case also, we will take a perfect simple cubic crystal which have a planes, several number of planes parallel to each other, and also they are parallel to their surface. Suppose here also 1 2 3 4 5 6 planes, parallel planes are there, and another plane we take A B C D, which is horizontal and at the middle of the crystal. Now suppose you took a point here H, and in between it is G, means at the middle of the plane you draw a line H and G, and again atoms will be like this. Atoms will be at the above of the slip plane. Slip plane, what is slip plane? A B C D. This plane is the slip plane. So if we take this much portion, then atoms will be also above the slip plane and also below the slip plane, and they will form a bonds. So, and then we will cut this half portion, means here you, if you consider H and here G, then half of the ABCD plane is cut such that cut first, and then we deform, we push towards the right. So what will happen? That will look like this. Here you consider this is the H point, and on the further side it is the G point, and I told you that the half of the planes, we broke the bond first and then push towards right, in that case along this direction, along this direction. So what will happen? This portion will move, the upper portion will move or slip some amount. So in that case, if you see that here the periodicity is perfectly maintained, here the periodicity is perfectly maintained, here also periodicity maintained, here if you see that here also periodicity maintained. If you see this here top of the crystal, then there also periodicity is maintained. But if you go in this region, then you will find a problem. What will happen? Now suppose you start from here and you go 4 steps below. You start from here, so suppose 4 step below, 1 2 3 4, and then 6 steps towards left. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, one more 7. So now you go, my mouse is not working properly. So suppose you have started from here, and from here from here 4 steps downward, 1 2 3 4, and you go 7 steps towards left, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then from here you go 6 steps upward, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then you have to come back 7 steps, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. So and then 7 is here, and then one steps downward. So from here, so now you have started from here, but you are arriving at this point. So this much is the deficient. So this portion is will determine the Barger vector magnitude. And detect what will be the direction? Direction is the along this direction, that may be inward or outward. And dislocation, what will be the dislocation line? I told you that here H point is here. If you go previous, I told you that there is a plane A, B, C, D, and in the middle of the ABCD plane, we draw a line H and G, and then H, B, C, G portion. In this portion, we broke the bonds and we pushed the crystal towards right, and then what happened? The crystal looks like this one, So H point is here and G point is on the other side. So HG line will be the dislocation line, and the Barger vector direction will be either in this direction or in this direction. So either inward or either uh, outward or inward. So dislocation, in that case, dislocation Barger vector and dislocation lines are always parallel to each other. But in case of edge dislocation, we got they are perpendicular to each other. So in case of edge dislocation, Barger vector is perpendicular to the dislocation, and in case of screw dislocation, Barger vector is the parallel to dislocation line. Any question? पार्टिसिपेंट्स के तरफ से कोई क्वेश्चन है? कोई सर के तरफ से कोई क्वेश्चन है? What
No
edge
question, sir.
dislocation there is? हाँ
No question, sir.
हाँ बोलिए.
No doubt, sir.
No doubts. Okay, okay. Yeah, here also you can see that if you take this as a Barger circuit, then if you go in this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps towards right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps towards bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 steps towards left, and you here you went 4 steps, and you are now in towards the left. You have gone through 4 steps. Now you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have completed total number of left and total number of left steps, total number of right steps, total number of up, and total number of bottom. Means a, if you consider this is the plus a axis, and this is c axis, then in this path you have gone plus 4 steps, and in this path you have gone minus 4 steps. So plus 4 and minus 4 cancel out, and similarly in along the c direction it is 5 steps, and uh, towards the plus c axis it is plus 5. So plus 5 and minus 5 cancel out and they become 0. So from you have started from point P, but you are arriving at this point, you are arriving at the point Q. So till this much path you have to travel. After that you can reach the starting point. So this much amount determines the Barger vector. And here also, to determine the direction of the Barger vector, you always have to consider a Barger circuit like this, and it is mainly in the clockwise direction, but you can also take along the anti-clockwise direction, but in that case you have to follow the right hand screw rule. Right hand screw rule means you have to, if the dislocation, if you take consider a burger circuit in such a way that a if a right-handed screw moves towards the dislocation line, then the circuit will be correct and the direction of the burger vector will also be correct. Otherwise, it will not give the correct direction. Magnitude will be same, but direction will may differ. Next, we will go for the planar defects. This is a two-dimensional defects, and planar defects are classified mainly into four categories: grain boundaries, tilt boundaries, twin boundaries, and stacking fault. And one by one, we will go to these individual points. What is a grain boundary? We know that in polycrystalline material, several grains means a grain is nothing but a collection of crystallites which have similar orientation. So if you see that this is a polycrystalline material, this is a grain, and this is also grain. So in this inside a one grain, the orientation of the crystallites are same, but the orientation of the crystallites is different in between two grains. So this is one grain, this is one grain, this is one grain, and this is one grain. Here the periodicity is perfectly maintained up to this, but at the grain boundary the periodicity is not maintained. Here what happened? The periodicity is not at all. So this is one kind of defect appearing in the solid. So the a grain boundary is a general planar defect that separates regions of a different crystalline orientation or grains within a polycrystalline solid, and the atoms in the grain boundary will not be in perfect crystalline arrangement. But at the boundary, their arrangement is different compared to the bulk or perfect crystal. And then we will go to the tilt boundary. Tilt boundary, what is tilt boundary? Here, this is a low angle boundary as the orientation difference between two neighboring crystal is less than 10 degree only. So here also two separate crystals are there. So if their orientation differ by only 10 degree, then we can get tilt boundary. Here this is the boundary plane. This is a one crystal and this is also, so here this is the grain boundary. And so next we will go for the twin boundary. What is twin boundary? Twin boundary is nothing but a mirror image of one portion of the crystal to the another. And here you can see that this is a plane. Along this line, if you put a mirror, then you will get a image of this side to this side, and I mean both side will be mirror image to each other. So the atomic arrangement on one side of a twin boundary is a mirror reflection of the other side. If you place a mirror, then this atomic arrangement look like same when you see at the reflection. And these twin boundary occurs always in pair, such that the orientation change introduced by one is restored by other. Any question? And this thing you can say that when twin boundaries form, now two different crystals are grown in the same time, at that time the misorientation exists between them, and that will create the twin boundary like this. Now is the stacking fault. What is stacking fault? Now, stacking fault is a planar defect and formed when a regular sequence of stacking is disturbed. You know that FCC, face centered closed packed structure, and always as well as hexagonal closed packed structure. In case of FCC, what happened? Some atoms first uh, in the plane, and then you suppose the magenta balls are the atoms A, and first they are placed in space, and close packed means they are close to each other, and then we put the green balls, or we put the green balls above the void portion of the lower plane, and then we place the atom C again on the void portion of the plane formed by the atoms B. So in that case, we will get a stack. First, atoms A form a plane. This is one plane, and then we get another plane formed by the atom B, and this is plane C. Uh, this glue ball form a plane C. So in case of FCC, we get A, B, C type of stacking, means one plane A, and onto which the plane B is lying, and onto which plane C is there. So in case of FCC, face centered closed packed structure, there the stacking of the layer is like ABC. And in case of HCP, if you see that the hexagonal structure, then you will find 6 atoms at the bottom, 6 atoms at the top, and 3 atoms at the middle portion. So if you consider this bottom A, and the in the middle plane called B, then this structure will be look like A, B, and again come A, B, like that. So here here is the point: stacking faults are not observed in planes where the stacking sequence is A, B, A, B, A, B, like that. Means in case of hexagonal closed packed structure, we will not get any stacking fault type of defects, but we can get this kind of stacking fault defects in case of face-centered closed packed structure like ABC, because there is no alternative sites. Means here A, B, and again A. So there is there is no chance to interchange between the plane. But in case of ABC stacking, ABC ABC stacking, then you will see that ABC, and again here AB, but C, here C is absent. Again ABC has started. So here is one absent of one plane. So this is one kind of stacking fault. Means imperfection in the layer sequence. Next, we will go for the stacking fault types, and there are two types of stacking fault: intrinsic stacking fault and extrinsic stacking fault. Intrinsic, what is intrinsic stacking fault? Now, if we remove a layer from an arrangement of sequence layer, suppose you have initially you have CBA, CBA, CBA type of stacking, and and now C B A B A C. मतलब C B A, here the sequence is missing. So this is one kind of stacking fault. Means CBA, this is absent. So CBA becomes CBABAC. So this is one kind of, and this type of stacking fault is called intrinsic stacking fault, and another one is the extrinsic stacking fault. What is this? Now here we add one extra plane to the previous stacking. So if you see that initially it was BAC like of stacking, B plane B, BAC, BAC. This was the initial stacking, but after this we add here another plane BAC. Here one extra plane A is added. So and then again BAC. So here it was 6. This structure contains 6 stacking, 6 planes, and here this structure contains 7, and the sequence also breaks. So BAC, in between one plane A is arriving, and then BAC. So this is the extra plane appearing at this position, and that will make the create the defect of stacking. So BAC, BAC, BAC becomes BAC, ABAC. So this is a one kind of extrinsic stacking fault. Now we will go for the three-dimensional defect or volume defect. Volume defect, pores, cracks, and foreign inclusions are the mainly the three-dimensional defects or bulk defects, and they will create either increase or decrease according to the material, the optical property, thermal property, and mechanical property. But the main defects in three-dimensional are pores, cracks, and foreign inclusion, and they will affect in different way in case of different physical properties. Sagar sir, can you hear me?
I think Sagar sir left here from here.
Okay. Sir, any question? I have finished my lecture. If some question is there, then you can ask. Uh,
Anyone
Sir, I have a
student?
question.
Okay, you can ask one by one.
ओके सर, मुझे ये पूछना है कि ये जो स्क्रीव डिसलोकेशन है और एज डिसलोकेशन है, इस वजह से इंट्रिंसिक स्टैकिंग फॉल्ट आ सकता है क्या?
नहीं, first of all, the line dislocation, edge dislocation, means edge dislocation and screw dislocation are of one kind. It belongs to the line defect, and whereas line defects mean along a line, it is a one dimensional. But in case of stacking fault is a two dimensional, means planar defect. Total plane is completely absent. In some cases it is totally added. So one dimensional dislocation is different from the stacking fault. But in case of in reality, when you take a sample, then in that sample, line dislocation as well as stacking fault may appear, but these two are different things.
Okay. और सर ये जो grains है are nothing but our domains only ना?
Domains means some region. Yeah.
Okay sir.
Grains
Also ये
means some
depends
region
से
where the orientation of the crystallites are same, but inside a grain. But if you take two grains nearby, then the orientation of the crystallites will be different.
ओके सर. और सर ये डिफेक्ट से क्रिस्टल पे क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा?
डिफेक्ट में क्रिस्टल में इफेक्ट बहुत सारे पड़ता है, जैसे आपको सेमीकंडक्टर पता है?
हाँ सर पता है.
सेमीकंडक्टर में क्या होती है बेसिकली, दो दो मतलब पहले के बैंड स्ट्रक्चर से बैंड फॉर्म होता है, तो एक वैलेंस बैंड मैक्सिमम होता है और एक कंडक्शन बैंड मिनिमम होता है, ठीक है?
हाँ
तो एक कब होती है, जब आपका सारे एटम्स पीरियोडिक है। कोई बैंड स्ट्रक्चर जब हम लोग करते हैं तो उसमें क्या होती है, हम लोग एज्यूम कर लेते हैं एटम्स आर प्लेस्ड एट द रेगुलर साइट एंड दे आर पीरियोडिक इन नेचर। तो जब पीरियोडिक होने से बैंड फॉर्म होता है, उसके बाद आप जब डिफेक्ट क्रिएट कर रहे हो, आपका सैंपल में आपका डिफेक्ट है, तो क्या होगा, इनिशियली परफेक्ट अगर क्रिस्टल है तो आप इसमें देखो वैलेंस बैंड मैक्सिमम एंड कंडक्शन बैंड मिनिमम लाइक दैट। सो इफ and this is for perfect crystal. Now if you are creating defect in the material, then some energy level may appear from at this position or this position depending on the defect. Suppose in case of gallium oxide, uh, there is gallium ion and oxygen ion. So when you when defects like gallium vacancy is there, will be there, then there will be some p-type nature. P-type nature means there is will be a layer energy level created just above the valence band maximum. But in case when oxygen vacancy is there, then there will be a energy level created just below the conduction band. So sometimes defects enhance the physical property which we need, and sometimes it deteriorate the physical property. Suppose you know that the semiconductor silicon very well. Silicon is a semiconductor, but you can increase its n-type conductivity by doping phosphorus. So you are doping means you are creating some defects in the material, but though you are creating defect in this material, but you are getting much more conductivity from this material. So this is one thing. And
yes sir.
another thing also, that some materials are not suppose you have a material AB, but this material is not magnetic. So but you can get magnetic property from this material, and for this you have to dope with some transition metal or rare earth element. And if you dope some transition metal, and you know that each transition metal has some intrinsic atomic magnetic moment, so that magnetic moment will come from this sample if you dope this material AB by some transition metal. So you are getting magnetic from non-magnetic material by doping some transition element. So these are all advantages. And I think you know that ruby crystal in laser physics, you may read that here chromium is added in the Al2O3 crystal, and due to this perfect symmetry environment, this chromium ion shows transition, and due to this you get the ruby laser. So these are the advantages.
कितने extent तक excuse me
Hello.
सर कितने extent तक किसी क्रिस्टल में डोपिंग कर सकते हैं?
कितना परसेंटेज?
Yes sir, how much we can dope in a crystal?
That will be depend on some things. Yesterday I told you that I told in this class that 4 factors. One thing is that first thing is that ionic radius means one you want to substitute one atom in the material. Suppose you want to dope iron in gallium arsenide in the, and gallium has own sites and arsenic also has own site, and you want to replace gallium sites by iron sites. So radius of iron ion and gallium ion should be nearly equal. First of thing is that. And next, suppose gallium arsenide has hexagonal structure, then it would be better if you choose iron compound as hexagonal. Means suppose Fe2O3 has a hexagonal structure, but your gallium arsenide is other than hexagonal, means it may be monoclinic, triclinic, then you will face a problem because the crystal structure is completely different. So in that case, you may get also some percentage of doping, but the percentage will be very less. If the structure match, then the doping percentage or doping probability will be larger. Any question?
सर डोपिंग पर मिलियन एरिया में किया जाता है, ऐसा मैंने सुना था कुछ.
क्या
1 पार्ट पर मिलियन क्रिस्टल के पार्ट में हम एक डोपिंग कर सकते हैं.
वो डिपेंड करता है. डोपिंग मीन्स 10 to the power 6 एटम में एक इम्प्यूरिटी एटम, ऐसा बोलते हैं. तो वो डिपेंड करता है और ज्यादा हो जाता है तो उसका एलोइंग बोलते हैं. एक्चुअली डोपिंग में क्या होता है, आपका बैंड स्ट्रक्चर में कोई चेंज नहीं आना चाहिए. आपका फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी में चेंज आएगा, बट आपका बैंड स्ट्रक्चर में चेंज नहीं आना चाहिए. अगर आपका बैंड स्ट्रक्चर में चेंज आ जाएगा तो वो डोपिंग ना बोल के उसको सब्स्टिट्यूशन बोलते हैं.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
ओके, एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
सर
हाँ,
आपने बोला कि एबी टाइप के पैकिंग में स्टैकिंग फॉल्ट नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन जिस तरीके से एबीसी में सी लेयर मिसिंग हो सकता है उस तरह से इसमें भी बी लेयर मिसिंग हो सकता है ना?
इसमें देखो चांस जो है, प्रोबेबिलिटी इज वेरी लेस. प्रोबेबिलिटी ए बी इसमें probability is very less, but if you have more number of planes a b c, then the chance will increase. That's all. And it may appear, actually in reality no crystal is perfect. All crystals are imperfect. All crystals have some defect, because in you know that crystal is equal to crystal lattice plus basis. Crystal lattice क्या है ना? Crystal lattice is a collection of large number or infinite number of imaginative points in space. And basis क्या है? Basis आपका atoms, चाहे वो एक भी एटम हो सकता है, 2 भी एटम हो सकता है. वो एटम आपका क्रिस्टल लैटिस साइट में बैठ के आपका क्रिस्टल बनाता है. तो बेसिकली क्या है, जो आपका क्रिस्टल लैटिस जो है वो इनफाइनाइट है। तो आपका कोई भी क्रिस्टल अगर है तो वो उसको क्या होना चाहिए, इनफाइनाइट होना चाहिए। तो लेकिन हम लोग जो रियलिटी में जो देखते हैं, कोई भी क्रिस्टल, आपका चाहे मोबाइल ले लो, आपका पेन ले लो, इसका परफेक्ट शेप ले लेते हैं। तो इसमें बेसिकली हम लोग क्या करते हैं, काट करते। तो ये बेसिकली क्या हो रहा है, हम लोग उसको उसका जो सिमेट्री है उसको ब्रेक कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें क्या होगा, वो और परफेक्ट ना होके इम्परफेक्ट हो गया। मतलब अगर कोई एटम देखो जिसका सरफेस जो मटेरियल का क्रिस्टल का सरफेस में है और जो इंटीरियर में है, उसका दोनों के बीच में एनवायरनमेंट का डिफरेंस देखो। जो इंटीरियर में है उसके चारों तरफ आपका एटम से बॉन्ड फॉर्म किया है, लेकिन जो सरफेस में बैठा है वो सिर्फ जो नीचे नीचे वाला मतलब इंटीरियर एटम का है, वहां पे बॉन्ड फॉर्म किया है, लेकिन ऊपर उसका बॉन्ड खुला हुआ है। इसको डैंगलिंग बॉन्ड बोलते हैं। तो इसको अगर देखोगे तो कोई भी मटेरियल है वो इम्परफेक्ट है।
Okay, sir.
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
Anyone else? I think, sir, all the questions are cleared.
हाँ,
So, BD Srivastav, sir.
वो
Hello.
हाँ,
Sir, BD Srivastav, sir. Is hear me? No, I think he is busy somewhere else.
हाँ नहीं मैं सुन रहा हूँ।
Okay. Sir, lecture will over now.
हाँ मैंने देख लिया है ना। तो और क्वेश्चंस सारे बच्चों के हो गए सारे।
Yes, sir.
तो
सर
इट वाज नाइस लेक्चर। हाँ बोले।
if you have some question you can also ask, and if I can able to do this question
Okay,
answer,
okay.
then
So what are the applications of the imperfections?
that will depend on the desire which we are desiring. जैसे imperfections means defects, and it is basically impurity. It may be impurity, like ruby crystal also, where what we do in Al2O3 we dope chromium ion. So this is one kind of defect, and due to this particular environment we get ruby laser. So this is our advantage. And in case of semiconductor also, we get more conductivity, we get more magnetic property from the host material by doping. So these are all one kind of doping, and then these are the huge application field.
Okay, means you want to say that the imperfections and defects are creating the more beauty than non-defects.
No, more no. It will depend on which kind of property we want to get.
Okay, fine. So it was nice lecture delivered by Sri Sahadev Ghosh on imperfections of the crystal. Yesterday, participants, you also learned the previous part of this lecture. So I think it would be useful for you. So thanks to Dr. Sahadev Ghosh on behalf of IAPT RC9.